Fantastico Disasterpiece Theater.
Señor Donde disponibles cabrones.
So, how are you holding up in your new head? You don't have a freaking body.
Everything's going swimmingly, no thanks to you.
I told you not to with me, alright? I've been telling you not to with me for 2 years.
I suppose you did, but who could have guessed that you were animated enough to actually tear my vessel?
You kept at it, and you kept at it. Calling me Kevin James, that's the last straw, alright? Call me Kevin James. And if you don't keep your mouth shut, I'm gonna freaking take a blowtorch to your plastic face.
You do realize that this means war. I'll have to step up my efforts to break your will and take your soul to the hell where people are skinned alive. The Chinese have a lot of hells.
I love Big Trouble in Little China.
Whatever happened to those uncreative Hollywood bastards remaking it? Weren't they supposed to put Dwayne Johnson or whomever in it?
That was the rumor.
Well, are they going to go through with that travesty? I mean, no offense to The Rock, but there's no possible way they could make Big Trouble in Little China any better than it already is.
I think the whole thing got nixed, right? I think the studio just stopped doing it.
Oh, thank the Dark Lord. That would have been awful.
I'm sure it would have been okay, but I agree. I don't think that it should have been remade. The original's fine. It's perfect the way it is.
What's with everyone wanting to remake all of John Carpenter's films? They talked about Cleveland quite often as Escape from L.A. They could do that.
All right, I don't know how that would do. I don't know.
Oh, I know. They could just show everyday people walking in downtown in Cleveland. I mean, I feel everyone there is trying to escape from Cleveland anyway. Ooh, that gives me an amazing idea.
Oh shit, what? Yeah, what's from Goonies?
Let's just go to Cleveland and get footage of people leaving. We could market it as found footage and call it Escape from Cleveland.
Holy hell. Oh god. That's pretty harsh.
But hilarious. Go ahead and watch my trailer.
Coming soon to a theater near you. You've seen him rescue the president and escape from New York. You've seen him rescue a weird mini CD and escape from LA, but nothing will prepare you for the next chapter.
Yes, Mother, I see what you're saying. They're letting the wrong elements into this town. I saw a DVD dispenser outside of the drugstore on 3rd Avenue.
You know, I saw children playing in a park near the private school on Wasp Street that my children go to.
We really need to escape from Cleveland.
Escape from Cleveland. Rated R.
Oh god, I'm gonna die one of those, I'm gonna die like one of those damn Roger Rabbit weasels, you know.
Splendid.
Way to ruin the moment, alright? I was having a good time. You just fucked it up.
What mean?
Well, just answer this. Are you trying to kill me with laughter? I don't think that shit works. That worked in Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I would never.
You're full of donkey shit. Oh, oops. Sorry, you're not a donkey anymore. Here's regular shit.
Oh, yes, you think you're so funny. Well, I'll show you, donkey.
What the fuck? Turn me back, you prick.
Nope, I told you Payback was a bitch.
Dude,
And I see you're giving the animator some overtime tonight.
eat it, a-hole. Turn me back.
Perhaps a deal could be made. What are you going to do for me?
I'll gather the pieces to you and put you back together.
I thought you threw them away, you lying sack.
No, I just put them away in case something like this happened. But you have to change me back, or I can't exactly do this as a piñata.
I suppose you're right. How do I know you'll follow through, though?
Yeah, unlike you, I'm good at my word. Just change me freaking back already.
I want it fixed right now.
It's gonna have to be later, alright? We're getting ready to start this show.
I'll give you a week.
Whatever, just fix it. Fix this shit right now.
You know, I should leave you like that for your wife to find.
Wait, does that mean I don't have to do dishes or vacuum?
No.
Then change me the fuck back and I'll get your goddamn pieces.
And I get a raise.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Oh, good. Now I can buy those British Knights.
British Knights. That shitty shoe fit hasn't been popular since Double Dare was new.
Damn, I should have had you being skinnier.
It's magic, not a fucking miracle.
Fuck you.
Everything's there, although not all of your parts are going to function for a while.
Like what?
Oh, you know what?
What?
It's not like your wife is going to notice a difference anyway.
You son of a bitch.
Yes, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And just gather my parts.
Fine. I'll do it in a bit.
You had better, or it's Pinata Doggy Town for you.
Jesus Christ. I hate you.
Yes, good. Now do your fucking show. We've been on the air for like 10 minutes.
Why the hell didn't you tell me?
Because it was funny.
Anywho, right. Hola, hip cool Fantasticats, and welcome to part 4 of the Fantastico Disasterpiece Disasterpiece Theater Super Ultra Mega. I can't talk. It's the Indie Showcase. Tonight I'll have John Brennan and Liz Schack on here, so...
Wow, who did they owe a favor to?
Dude, come on, man.
It's a legitimate question. Why the hell would they come on your show unless they owed someone a huge favor?
You need to get used to the fact that people actually enjoy this show and that they actually like me and they want to come on and chat. You gotta get fucking used to that because I'm not a dick.
Nope, not buying it.
Whatever, why don't you just go piss off?
Yes, why don't you piss off?
Anywho, Fantasticats, tonight we get to watch Liz Schack's directorial insanity mixed with John Brennan's personal insanity. Sorry about that, John.
That's fairly insulting.
You find that insulting? This whole damn operation is insanity. But let's add some classy insanity to the mix, alright? So, I love these guys, and I love their stuff.
You're not helping to sell them. You enjoy Manimal.
You watch your mouth. Manimal is mankind's favorite television show.
Yeah, well, there's no accountability for taste, I suppose.
You don't know. Don't be talking shit about Manimal and Simon McCorkindale. You don't fucking talk shit about that. Here, Liz has made this really, really cool movie, so let's watch it. Just beam them in. Let's get them in here.
Oh, I suppose. What is it? Okay, well, that's pretty fucking odd, but fine, I guess. Can you email the picture to me?
Sure.
No, you moron, I need a PNG file so I can put it up.
What kind of file?
This is a JPEG. I need a PNG. Oh, never mind, I'll convert it myself. There.
I feel like I'm at the Olive Garden. Jesus.
I really don't understand why you want me to project them onto a giant meatball. But to each their own, I suppose.
Hey guys, thanks for honoring me by coming on the show. This is awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Alrighty, so I know you're probably super busy, so I'd like to jump right in so I'm not wasting your time. So tonight we're going to be watching Liz's flick and your flick, My Brother Jeffrey, part 1 through 3.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is a lot of fun. I mean, the movie played at a good festival, so this is a big deal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I watched it and I'm like, this is the most insane shit I've ever seen.
I was so excited when you said that. That makes me so
More
happy.
to come. More to come.
Awesome.
I'll tell you right here, these flicks reminded me of something. I couldn't quite put my finger exactly on what it was. Then I realized it wasn't necessarily a movie. It was more like a genre. And I kept trying to think, what the hell am I doing? What the hell is this? And I'm like, Tetsuo meets Fried Berry.
Really? Why didn't I watch this with you?
Because I hate you.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you so much. Liz was also highly inspired by Twin Peaks.
Oh, nice.
In Twin Peaks, yes.
I love Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
That was one of the, man, I used to watch that show all the time. Not big on the third season, but I like the.
Really?
Give it another watch.
I should, because I was like, I want more Agent Cooper, you know, like
Yeah.
actual Agent Cooper, and not I can't remember what his name was.
Dale? No, that Dale Cooper's his name. Dougie.
Dougie.
Dougie. Yeah. I was like, this is even bizarre for David Lynch.
It's David Lynch doing David.
Anywho, so yeah, just nonstop, quick, crazy punches to the cranium that then you have to absorb a few times to finally get to the point where you're like, what the f*** did I just watch?
But now I really want to watch these shorts.
Good, because we're going to be doing that relatively soon. Just calm the hell down already.
Fine.
Jesus. Alright, sorry. Francois is being overly inquisitive about shit tonight since I didn't let him watch the movie with me beforehand.
Yes, it's bullshit.
Stifling.
Yeah, y'all know Archie Bunker.
Probably for the best. I mean, that dude would get canceled like twice a day in this modern time.
Undoubtedly.
Stop interrupting anyway. Anywho, let me just throw this out there, alright?
Uh-oh.
So, Liz, okay, you seem relatively sane. I'm not sure about John just yet.
Says the guy who talks to a severed head.
Anywho, Liz, as I stated prior to being interrupted, you seem relatively sane, so I just want to ask you this. Where the hell did you come up with the idea for this? This blatant sanity.
This one.
Well, we were living at John's parents' house during the pandemic, and they just emptied out the attic of all, and they had a gold mine of 80s toys.
Yeah, it was like, honestly, weeks before the pandemic, it was like a week of just like sorting through old shit that me and my brother had as kids. And then like my parents had all sorts of clothes and pictures, and all of our homeworks were up there, like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Liz was there the whole time watching us basically relive our whole lives.
Yeah, photos, everything. But there was one thing I found in the garage, which was this Dean Martin doll that was given to John by his 9-fingered aunt. And it like scared us. And so that was part of the inspiration, the Dean Martin doll.
Yeah, the Dean Martin doll, it like used to be, I remember when we first got it, it would work, and the head, it was supposed to like, it's a little sing to you and have the songs, but sometimes it would get like really glitchy and be like, and sound demonic. And we brought it into the house and my mother's like, I don't want that thing in the house. She was like afraid of it.
Oh, I can relate to that.
So all that inspired Liz highly because, seeing my mother react that way and just all this like sort of stuff going on, seeing us at our most intimate.
Well, and yeah, also the pandemic itself was like living in a horror movie. So it was lots of things.
Yeah,
this.
you manifest. I really feel like you work through a catharsis of your feelings of the pandemic, plus learning about like things about my family. And then, so what happened was Liz was shooting this with my brother and my mom, and I was like, I want nothing to do with it because I have other things I want to do, and I was like trying to stay busy during the pandemic and work on my stuff. But then I saw the footage that they got for the first section, and I said, I'm editing this, like, because it was the scene where my mother's making the meatballs, and then we put my face, because I played Jeffrey, I'm the dead brother. So we put my face in the meatballs, and like it just got really surreal. And I knew that we could make something fucking fucked up and awesome. So we did. And I mean, testament to these guys. They did the trauma thing where they crushed a head
with a melon.
and Liz, with the idea of like, originally I was like, spaghetti won't work for gore. And, I was kind of saying like the classic way, but Liz knew it was going to work. She wanted that spaghetti to splat and be the brains.
I love spaghetti and cinema. I love it.
I saw that and I nearly pissed myself, right? It was like Chef Boyardee up in that bitch. It was awesome.
No, because I knew that there was something, I come from a trauma school of filmmaking. I worked at trauma, so I knew these little tricks of the trade, like crush a head with a melon. So I told them, I said, you guys should crush the head, and then freaking Liz did it. It was amazing.
That's super cool.
So another thing that was kind of interesting was that we put that first thing out online as a Corman challenge. I don't know if you remember the Corman challenge when Roger Corman went out and said, everybody make a 2-minute movie. We're going to while you're inside, like stay creative. So that was another thing that Liz kept it at 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's why it's so short.
Which explains why it has sequels, right?
Right.
Well, we started to get feedback from friends and family being like, this is awesome. They loved it. They were like, what's going to happen next? And some people remember my brother's friend had a theory about the meatballs, right?
Yeah, no, there were a lot of questions. Our mutual friend Justin Martell had a nightmare about it, which was, again, a dream come true for me.
Yeah,
it worked.
Yeah, he had, my brother was in his dreams, like with my brother Jeffrey, with the knife and stuff, just weird shit. So it helped inspire us to create more of the story.
So I saw you were calling this Supernatural, and I didn't quite get it at first, so I figured I should ask you, what the hell is Supernatural?
Instead of a supernatural, we did supernatural because they're sort of brought together through spaghetti and meatballs.
I gotcha.
Meatballs are the through line and the spaghetti.
I'm just a freaking moron that I didn't pick up on that. Now that you said that, I'm like, oh my God.
No.
You're a goddamned idiot.
I was just looking into it too much, right?
Oh, not nearly enough. Jesus.
Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this place.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, don't blame me. You blame Nate. Okay, he's the one who did that. Don't put that shit on me, all right?
I saw that.
You didn't see a damn thing. Okay, then anyway, I can't believe that your joke, that supernatural joke, passed right over my head for some freaking reason. I thought it was like some kind of new genre. I'm just so freaking stupid.
You nailed the lid on the coffin there.
Piss off.
Meatballs and Dean Martin are the connecting tissue between all three of them. And spaghetti, of course. Spaghetti's in all three.
Yeah. That's the dinner.
That's the dinner. I mean, because, you know, look, during the pandemic, my mother's Italian. She makes the Sunday sauce and stuff, and she would make this big pot of just like tomato sauce for hours and hours on end. It was always boiling with the sausage and the meatballs in there. And I remember when Liz was shooting it, I was like, it's pretty good.
I mean, like, also, it's like we're in the middle of this, like, it's like the end of the world, basically, and it's like, what's for dinner, you know? Yeah. So that, too, is just, the whole time was so surreal, just the pandemic.
And I think this helped all of us pass the time. I mean, I know my parents were very excited to be a part of it,
yes.
Because then they started to get excited for the next part. Like, what's my part here? And what do I get to see there? Especially my dad, who he was sleeping
the whole time
while they were making it. And so Liz was like, would you be in it? And all you have to do is keep sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. That's
What else? Did you have any theories while you were watching? Like, what did you take away from Jeffrey? Because we may make another one. My neighbor Nathan was up in the air at some point, you know, like expanding it.
Honestly, I'm not sure, right? I was just so enamored by the insanity a lot of the time. I was watching and I couldn't just get distracted from this movie. There was so much going on.
It was also another thing to point out was that it was all shot on an iPhone. It was all on Liz's iPhone.
That's actually one of the questions that I wanted to ask. What did you film it on? So now we know it was an iPhone.
iPhone, and all the props were his. Everything. I mean, the only thing we spent money on were the meatballs.
That's like ultra low budget.
Yeah, it was honestly ultra low budget and meatballs, and then we entered some festivals. So all together, I'd say we spent like, I don't know, $200 all told on this movie. And now it got into a really huge, reputable horror festival called the Nightmares Film Festival in Columbus, Ohio, and it was amazing. People loved it. And it was just like really a prestigious place. So it was all worth the money, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Totally.
So, okay, so how long did it take you to film this?
Well, so we started in April, which took about...
April of 2020, right? Yeah.
And it probably took like 2 days. Then we did the second half in May. And then that took about the same amount of time, like 2 days. And then we started the third one and then took a big break, like a month and a half. I don't know why, but it was actually a miracle because we got Dan, his brother, to shave his beard. So we had that like effect.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I love those.
Yes.
You know what? Is that what happened? It's because you guys shot him with the beard first?
Yes.
And then that's what would happen. Yeah, so they shot him with the beard first, and then Dan had shaved, but we had like 1 or 2 more shots to do. Or like actually, that's what it was. The whole scene where he's wrapped in the gauze, the reason why we put the gauze on his face was because he had shaved. And we hadn't shot that scene yet. That's why it was.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is. Okay, that's the way to beat shit in post, right?
Yeah.
And it added to it because he's like, it just makes it more creepy and stuff. So we just used that opportunity to be like, we still have to finish this. How can we?
Oh God.
Yeah.
This made me laugh.
It worked out perfectly too, because like I didn't even question it. Like I was watching it and I saw that and I was like, okay, well then he must be, a little fucked up or something. So that's cool,
It's like
so it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it's like an Eraserhead. I know there's like one moment that was filmed like 5 years later where he like walks through a door. That's our moment.
Yeah, when Dan said he looks into the mirror and he says, time to get hairy, and then he pushes the beard out and it pops out, and then he says, time to fuck.
2 months later.
Yeah, 2 months later. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun, and Dan was like such a trooper, and he helped us write it. My brother, we would have brainstorming sessions about 2 and 3, and like where the concepts would go, and all of us had different ideas of what the thing should be. but usually they melded together because we just went surreal with it. So you could basically put any idea in.
Yeah, including one of my favorites was when he pooped in the shower, and I used Pier Paolo Pasolini's poop recipe from Salo. I did it exactly the way.
Yeah, and when the circle of shit, we emulated the circle of shit in My Brother Jeffrey. Yeah.
Yes.
What is that? What is that?
It's cocoa powder, chocolate sauce, and orange marmalade. That's the secret.
That's awesome. I'll know that for later when I need to make like some kind of like scheisse video.
It looked amazing. I mean, when I was seeing it on the camera, I was like, "Holy shit!"
I molded all the turds with my own hands.
Yeah, and that was another fun little thing. Is like in the like my parents are going through, and she's cooking shit, and they're making sandwiches, and it's just all this like funny shit going on. So that's how we kind of like stayed sane.
Yeah, and a Temple of Doom reference when Jimmy was doing his chant and about to electrocute him. That was all Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom.
Yeah. We kind of said, summon Molaram.
Yeah.
And he went, summon
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that, but now that you say that.
It's a Frankenstein of a lot of
Oh, yeah. It's all these different ideas coming together.
That's so cool.
There's even like I feel like the third My Brother Jeffrey is almost like the James Cameron one where we introduce guns into the universe, and like the first two are Alien and My Brother Jeffrey 3 is Aliens. Because it just goes for broke and just expands in this huge way. Guns? I mean, like if you really think about what it means that there was a gun in the attic and he got that message from his brother Jeffrey, and Duke goes up and gets that gun. Jeffrey was a school shooter, essentially. I mean, what the fuck? We didn't even know that until later because we just had those guns, right?
John had those fake guns.
Oh, yeah, of course, praise be, and, we don't want to, that was horrible.
Oh.
I mean, not praise, but you know what I mean. God bless all the people who were affected by that horrible thing. But we had fake guns. We knew they were fake. There was no playing with fire, you know what I mean? We didn't have real AR-47s or whatever.
A little soon to be talking about Rust.
You're right. No, we shouldn't have even mentioned Rust. Jesus help us.
I'll just alleviate. I'll just leave that out.
Yeah, leave it.
Just cut.
Just blur his face.
Or you know what you should do? Bleep. That would be great. God bless bleep. But no, so we had that thing. So it's like you can make little connections in it. In this thing that other people at like the festival or our friends, or they all give us theories about what they think it means, which is kind of cool.
Can I say whose arm it was in the fridge? Am I allowed to? No. Okay.
No, I think you can. Yeah, why not? Say it.
It's Bill Moseley's arm. We should cast it, like put him in the credits.
Yeah, thanks to Justin Martell and Matt Mangiarides. I did a movie with them many years ago called The Alcoholist. And Bill Moseley's arm was molded for it. So flash forward a few years later, we did something else, and then Matt and Justin asked if I could hold the prop. So that's where we got all the guns from and all that sort of stuff, right? So lo and behold, we're doing this Jeffrey thing, and I remembered, like, at the house is the stuff that fucking Justin and Matt gave me. So one of the things was the Bill Moseley arm. So yeah, we used Bill Moseley's arm. We should have said thanks to Bill Moseley in the credits, but we thank Justin and Matt because they helped us out. I mean, without those things, the thing wouldn't have been as elevated.
So there you go.
No joke. It's really Bill Moseley's arm, because if you watch Alcoholist, which is on Tubi, actually, it's not a bad movie. It's a very beautiful looking movie. The beautiful cinematography. The story's a little muddled, but whatever, who cares? But there's a part where Bill Moseley puts his hand up and he gets shot. So if you look closely, there's like a hole in the hand. Yeah.
Dude, that's freaking awesome.
You're right. This flick sounds like it's a crazy clusterfuck conglomerate of anything and everything.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It was like a lot of found stuff, and that was what was really fun about it. Was we weren't planning ahead; we were thinking with the things that we had.
Yeah.
So it really helped elevate it, also because we weren't like, oh, now we got to go out to the store and get this and that and the other thing. No, we have it. Let's just do it.
And we couldn't really. Again, it was like end of days time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose we should play the first part of the flick. The first part. Buckle up, people. This is seriously nut bunnies. Once this part is finished, we'll come back and then we'll talk a little bit more with Liz and John here. We'll ask them some questions and stuff.
Yeah, which asylum Liz resided in and how John broke her out to make these flicks.
I mean, I've watched this. Anyway, projector guy, just throw on the reel for part 1 of My Brother Jeffrey, alright?
Dude, can you come in and clean that attic while we're stuck in the house, please?
What the fuck is this? What is this?
That was your brother Jeffrey's. Where'd you get that? Oh my God.
Hi, honey. It's great. I drink it all the time. Yeah, baby.
Your brother Jeffrey.
Your brother Jeffrey.
Your brother Jeffrey.
Your brother Jeffrey.
Your brother Jeffrey. Your brother Jeffrey. You killed my brother Jeffrey.
Is dinner ready?
Dear Lord, what the fuck was that?
I'd say the film equivalent of Quaaludes and absinthe.
Liz, did someone slip you the opium?
This is what Hunter S. Thompson's nightmares look like. Well, looked like. He's dead.
It's wretched. It's disgusting. It's insane.
Yeah, right, and it's freaking cool.
Indeed.
Okay, so let's get into some more questions. So what were your plans for the first movie? Like, how did it come about? What were you trying to do? Like, what was your goal for this flick? Like creatively and narratively and...
So, again, they were emptying out their attic, John and his family, and we found, like, a cemetery of Cabbage Patch dolls. And so that plus the Dean Martin doll I thought would be funny if it just came out of a giant tub of Cabbage Patch dolls. So that was number 1. And one of the things that really influenced me was that picture of John and Dan as babies that's in the opening of each one. I don't know why. I saw it every morning when I woke up, every night before I went to bed, and I just was picturing this whole story of a dead brother and just these photos of the dead brother. And all I knew was I needed Mrs. Brennan dead. She was going to die. Yeah.
All right, so now I feel that the first part of the movie where he sees the picture, I think maybe that's the small piece of innocence and sanity before shit hits the fan.
Yeah, that's one of the last times I think that the character Duke was happy, probably.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I don't know, there's something about him wearing a bow tie in the picture, and John has like a Mona Lisa face. Like, I don't know how he feels. So many things.
Also, the picture of Jeffrey older is me. That's my senior high school photo, which is also out. And what I hate about that picture is I didn't know it was picture day. And my hair is like fucked up and I didn't comb it, and like I just went in and I said, you know what, fuck it, I'll just do it. And I just look really horrible in that picture, but we used it as it's like the quintessential sort of like, I don't know, teenaged, horrible looking encapsulation.
I just thought it would be funny.
It didn't look that bad.
Oh, it's horrible. I'm like,
I love it.
I had no idea it was senior picture day. Nobody fucking told me. I would have brought some gel or something. I don't know. Shit.
I didn't know that. But I thought it would be funny if like his brother had that in the background everywhere he went. Just that picture. So.
And then how did you come? What happened with the car crash? That was also like the backstory. That was such an interesting turn.
He died in a car crash.
That the brother died in a car crash, and then that's what's driving the brother insane, and he blames the mom. I mean, it's so fucking weird and funny.
I feel like in almost just so many movies, it's like there was a car crash. The car crash. So.
Yeah, that's why I like it, because it's almost like if you really boil down My Brother Jeffrey into its basics and take away the supernatural stuff, it's like a family soap opera.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Like sands through the hourglass.
Exactly. Or, it's very Robert Redford, ordinary people type.
That's really funny. I'm gonna compare it to that.
Yeah, Robert Redford would like be like shaking his head like, mm-mm.
Dude, that's how we're gonna describe it from now on.
Yeah.
It's ordinary people with witches, demons, and ghosts.
Mary Tyler Moore's rolling in her grave.
Wait, is Mary Tyler Moore dead?
Right. So when you ended the first movie, what was your idea about the ending? Like, what would the ending mean? Like, you just stopped it.
Yeah, the mom caused this car accident and just tried to move on with her life, and it traumatized her son. Sort of sitcom-y, I guess. But then, I don't know, again, we were talking to John's cousin Jimmy, and we just were like, we can milk this. We can milk this for all it's got.
Yeah, because every good family has extended family. So we had an actual person of the family coming over. We thought that's the way to, how does this affect the rest of the family? So, but with the end, I think it was a punctuation of just a man being driven insane by his past demons to do an unspeakable act. And it was very actually creepy. If we had ended it that way, it would have been a really dark ending.
Yeah. And the dad, I mean, I sometimes think about like how long it took the dad to realize his wife was beaten to death in the backyard.
He was so oblivious to like everything.
But I mean, in a way, we wanted to vindicate Duke. I think that's why we probably continued it, because the character didn't deserve that, and neither did the mom. But obviously, we said that there were supernatural forces at work.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't control your own emotions when witches and demons have a hold of your freaking mind.
Or a Dean Martin doll in this case.
Yeah, that doll is real fucked up, right?
In my opinion of the piece, the Dean Martin doll is the spirit of the brother.
Oh, yes.
And,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. So the brother is sending good messages, well, good and bad. But mixed messages through the doll to speak to the brother. So it's really, that's a form of communication, the Dean Martin doll. It's something that they shared when they were kids.
Okay. All right, I got you.
Alrighty, well, I think it's time to dive into Liz's crazy pool once again, alright? Let's go ahead and check out part 2 of My Brother Jeffrey. You ready for this, Francois?
Are you kidding? I haven't been this excited since I was in The Exorcist.
You weren't in the freaking Exorcist.
Oh, really?
I don't ever remember seeing anybody in the credits of The Exorcist named Francois.
Yes, well, I played the demon that resided in Reagan.
Bullshit.
Yes, which shows what you know.
You are so full of it, dude. Like, seriously, you are full of shit. Plastic, fucking severed head mannequin shit.
Yeah, that's what the priest said when I shoved him down the steps.
That was a movie. That happened in the movie.
That's what they've told everyone.
Well then, were you in The Exorcist 3 as well?
No, you fucking moron. That was Brad Dourif.
Projector guy, just throw in part 2 of My Brother Jeffrey, alright? God, shut the fuck up.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, come on over.
Dude!
Made you some meatballs, man.
I have nightmares about it every day. How could you not? How could you fucking not? You will forever. Hold on. No, I'm gonna take this. Hold on. I'm gonna warm these wings up downstairs.
What's on the nose? Still crypto or fuck? What's on the nose? Still crypto or fuck?
I killed your brother Jeffrey, and I ran away from the scene of the crime.
What's on the nose? Still crypto or fuck?
Soon you will be ours, Uncle Jeffrey.
Is dinner ready?
What the fuck? So, okay, you make this short film, right? Then you decide to make a sequel. Aside from the retribution for Duke's story, like, where do we go from here? Are you just like, let's see how we can really fuck with people now? Like what were you thinking?
Well, no, we got like really drunk one night and just started like just thinking of like different characters we can add in and like why, and like wouldn't it be so funny if your mom had an evil twin, and then like Jimmy does this like Temple of Doom style like spell with lightning, and I always wanted to have a poop scene like that. So I was like, we gotta get the poop in there. I gotta use that recipe.
And I think we sort of concocted seeds for both of the next two Jeffreys in that moment. And then we realized, because the Corman challenge was still going on, so we said, why don't we make the part 2 adhere to the Corman challenge and make it another 2-minute piece?
Right.
So we took that chunk about cousin Jimmy coming over and giving the meatballs and then casting the spell with lightning on him, and that was the one that we focused on, and we waited and we said, all right, maybe we'll visit Jeffrey later again, because we had some of the ideas about him being, you know, like you said, the twin mom comes back and marries the dad, and that gave us a good inclination of how Jeffrey 2 should end, because after Jimmy kills the Duke or makes him shit himself, Why? Why did he do that? So it was a good reason. They wanted the father. They wanted Jeffrey the dad. They had their sights set on him. He was the problem.
Yeah.
But also, Dean was protecting Duke because he tried to kill cousin Jimmy by having him choke on the meatballs.
Right? And then, on top of that, the revelation that it wasn't the mom's fault for the accident. Cousin Jimmy caused the accident in 1997.
Yeah.
He admits it. He says, I'm the one who caused you, and I framed your mother, right?
It's everyone's pointing fingers throughout the whole trilogy.
Yeah. So they caused this, and the reason they did it was because the twin mother, the witch, who had cousin Jimmy the son, was jealous because she was in love with the father, Jeffrey. The dad, she was in love with him. So she orchestrated this whole car crash to kill her sister so she could take her husband.
Was all of this pre-planned?
Or is this just like
we were coming up with it?
Right? Yeah.
Like on a whim, you're like, this would be fucking great. This would be fucking great. See, that's the way to do it.
What do I want to watch his family do? And they were amazing. They were so great to work with, and they did everything that was asked. Everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I could never get my parents to do anything like that ever.
They're amazing, and they committed so hard. And I feel like it's obvious, and I feel like that's why it's so good. I just think their acting and just like how much of their heart and souls they put into it.
Yeah, because they definitely seem dedicated to it, like to their characters, you know. And that was another question. I was like, what was they thinking when you said, okay, well, this is your character, this is what I want you to do? What did they say to you? Were they just like?
Well, I think Mrs. Brennan was like, "Do you have to kill me?" Mr. Brennan loved his part.
Yeah, he loved his part. He got to lay on the couch and pretend to sleep and say 3 lines. My mother loves, she doesn't like horror movies. She watches Hallmark. Hallmark movies scare her. So she's not into scary stuff. So all that gore or whatever, she was like, oh no. But then when she saw how we were doing it with the food and being creative, and it was also funny, then she started to get into it and really delivered.
Because I was just like, man, so when you're explaining, okay, so I want you to be this evil twin that shoots a light out of your mouth.
Oh, the flame.
Yeah. She had to be a witch because there was no other way. How did she manipulate this whole situation from the get-go? She's not just a person. She has to be a supernatural force.
Yes. I actually, when I shot her going up like that with the flame coming out, I had to close my eyes because I was laughing so hard. No joke, I peed a little. It made me laugh so hard.
It was also a fun, because the third we did the second Jeffrey, like you said, around May, right?
Yeah.
So it was starting to get nice out, so we were enjoying being outside and shooting a little bit, that sort of thing. So it was also a good excuse to hang out outside and start to get the fresh air and things like that.
That's awesome.
And then the third one had the picnic, so they loved that. They were just laying in the yard the whole time.
It was great.
Yes, sir, I'd like to comment.
Okay, Joy. Fine.
So let's go back a little. That was some real disgusting shit you guys had there.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gnarly with the puking and the choking and all the fluids.
No, what I'm talking about is the shit.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I will not go down another Abbott and Costello rabbit hole with you again.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, you fucking moron. Let me dumb it down for you.
What?
I'm literally talking about the shit that looked as if it escaped an asshole.
Oh, the shit. Okay, the shit. Alright, not just rent shit, but shit.
And finally, the last horse finishes the fucking race. My intelligence quotient is dropping like Jello's stock right after the Cosby trial. What? Too soon?
Anywho, so was that real fecal matter? Because it sure as hell looked like it.
Yes, I was always fond of marmalade. Thanks, Liz.
Okay, so that's a sign of a master gross outs, Liz. If you can gross Francois out, you have big things coming your way. Trust me on that.
And to top it off, that Teddy Ruxpin looks severely fucked up.
And I don't think I'm ever going to be able to look at Dean Martin the same again, right?
Yes, well, neither will anyone else. I've been thinking, though.
About what?
If we get some shovels and some string, we could dig his ass up and make a bitching Crypt Keeper puppet.
Holy hell, dude.
Yes, well, how is that any worse than the time you said you wanted to dig up the British Bulldog and the Junkyard Dog and have a weekend at Bernie's dog collar match?
That was so funny. I can't even think, not thinking that's funny. Okay, so you're fair on that one, alright. Alright, so, anywho, so you have your dad just lying around on the couch sleeping and wanting to eat, right? I nearly shot milk out of my nose and I hadn't had any milk in like a week or two.
Indeed.
Alrighty, well, I guess that leads us to the third and final part of your trilogy before we go into stuff that hasn't happened yet, so let's check it out. Projector guy, fire up the last flick, My Brother Jeffrey Part 3.
Jeffrey! Wake up, Jeffrey! What the hell are you dreaming about?
I was dreaming I was sleeping in the 70s.
Dinner is ready.
I'd like to propose a toast to my new wife, who used to be my sister-in-law, to my new stepson, who used to be my nephew. This has been a rough year from us, losing my wife and Jimmy's meatball incident.
To us.
Cheers. The meatballs are really good.
Even though my sister and I were twins, we had different tastes in meat.
Is Duke coming to dinner?
No, he's under the weather. Don't worry, I'll take care of him.
Aren't you glad you killed your mother for no reason? My son Jimmy killed your brother Jeffrey, and I'm the one who framed your mother. And now your father Jeffrey is all mine! It's time to brush your chops!
Avenge me! It's time to get hairy. Time to fuck. Little do they know, my brother Jeffrey has one final secret.
Duke?
Nice picnic. Eat lead. Look at me, I'm speaking in tongues. Now it's time to brush your chops open wide. Antonia, I thought it was your day off. I made a mess in the bathroom, but I'll clean it up myself. The move is to leave. Call it, Jimmy! You're a cyborg?
Self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2.
No!
When's dessert?
All right, we're back, and now that I've had the Keith Richards experience, because that's what he's seeing in his head, I have a feeling. Let's talk a little bit about the third part of this flick. So, after the second part, were you guys planning the third?
Yeah, John was like, we need to make another one to answer all the questions.
I wanted the third one to basically, even if it doesn't make sense when you first watch it, I don't care. If you watch it and you look at all the things that were set up, it wraps up. So in the third one anyway, so I was like, we need to do that. Like I said, make the aliens versus Alien is the first two and Aliens opens up the universe. So I knew we had to do it because after Cousin Jimmy, I mean, he chokes on the meatball and he dies, leaving. You think, and what happens to Duke? Because we don't show Duke dead. He just shits himself, when he gets electrocuted.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a finality. We needed a real finale.
So that's when he's like, "Bruh."
Yeah.
It's like, man, get some Lou Ferrigno vibes here.
Oh, yeah.
I think my brother Dan channeled Lou Ferrigno a little bit.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so me, Dan, and Liz sort of then came up. I remember another brainstorm after the second Jeffrey. We were like, all right, how do we answer all questions? And we also, like I said, listened to people's theories about what happened. So we said, they think that Jeffrey's in the meatballs, right? That was one of the theories from the very first one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We said, let's make him in the meatballs.
Put him in the meatballs.
He's in the meatballs. He's the meat. So...
Yeah.
Yes. So the fans, so to speak, helped us finish the story, and I think that Star Wars and Kathleen goddamn Kennedy would she should have done that for the sequel trilogy because they fucked it up. They can go from us. We listen to the fans.
Yeah, well.
Sorry.
Okay, so my favorite part of the third movie is the I mentioned it before, but the fire shooting out of your mom's mouth, right? That was freaking hilarious. Like I about spit soup out. Like it was great.
The first thing I thought of was a Godzilla movie. That was like the first thing that popped in my head. I was like,
Yeah. He does turn into Godzilla. Yeah, there's like Jimmy's a cyborg.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
He like grabs it by the head. And he's like, and then he like looks like.
That was all John.
Well, no, it wasn't because it was you who said that we should emulate Cape Fear.
Yes.
And because there's a beautiful scene in Martin Scorsese's Cape Fear where Max Cady, who's Robert De Niro, kills the house cleaner and then dresses up as her. And there's this creepy scene where in the background you see the housekeeper who's like doing stuff, but then turns around and reveals it's Robert De Niro. So we're like, we need to do that, but with cousin Jimmy.
Yeah.
And so that was an amazing scene, you know, and then all of a sudden it was like, what could be the final? Because we had a witch. What is Jimmy if he's still surviving all these gunshots and whatever? And I had, again, just a mask that was a cyborg mask. So we wrote that in.
Oh, yeah. No, well, cyborg, I don't know why. I just feel like cyborgs are so dramatic that I thought it would be a funny addition too.
Well, it was definitely like a swerve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was not expecting a cyborg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he blows up the house. He blows up part of the house.
Yeah.
Self-destruct button.
Oh, yeah.
God.
But that was like, you know, then that lent to the finale being the sci-fi ending because we were kind of like horror up until that point. And then once we defeated the horror when Duke cuts his aunt's tongue off and fucking stabs her in the mouth, that sort of ended the horror, and that's when the sci-fi began. Yeah, that was a piece of kielbasa we put in.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It looked great in my
opinion.
It
didn't look like a kielbasa. It looked like a tongue. I mean, obviously it wasn't, but I was just like, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
And it was gross enough where I was it was cringeworthy.
Oh, good.
I was like, oh.
I remember your mom didn't like the spaghetti in the blender. I think that was sort of took it too far.
Yeah, she didn't like doing that with the spaghetti in the blender.
And she like walks it back to give it.
Yeah, and that's actually what it looked like. Like, that's not like a chocolate shake. Like, that's really what the spaghetti altogether looked like.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows.
That's cool. Authentic spaghetti shake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so gross.
Dude, that's not bad when you're sick. You get a spaghetti milkshake. It's better than just bread and water.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fair. Yeah. I just spaghetti through a straw. I don't know.
I know.
That's gnarly.
I know.
Yeah. So the end scene. Okay, you get the UFO. You know, comes in, and then it's your dad's skeleton that's just still laying there.
Yeah.
In the same position. Yeah. And then it comes in and it beams him up, and I was almost expecting them to like regenerate him, right? Like, and then put him back down on that.
Yeah. See, that would have been a great ending. Maybe that opens up for the fourth one.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen now that the skeleton is there. The aliens could go back and resurrect the other skeletons and make the family on the ship. You know, we could go crazy.
You could do like a whole Jason X thing. It'd be great.
Yeah, Jeffrey in space.
Or you could have them all wandering around on the wastelands of Earth. and you've got like several cousin Jimmy cyborgs, right? They're like an army like in the Matrix, you know?
Oh yeah. And you could do space spaghetti.
Space spaghetti.
That would be cool. You could like render it green and shit and like purple, and you could even like make it move, and that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and then you could bring Jeffrey. I could play Jeffrey
Yeah.
They could reconstruct him, like reconstruct Jeffrey from like the meatballs or some shit.
Yeah.
Like there's a meat, like a moldy ass meatball, and it's like, and he comes back.
Yup, totally.
You know what we should do? Sort of like Critters 2. Critters 2 or Critters 1 is Easter.
Critters
2. That's Critters 2.
2, right?
2.
So
Yeah.
this could also be an Easter movie with the resurrection of Jeffrey.
Shit, there's not enough Easter movies out there.
And you kind of are looking like Jesus.
Yeah.
You're on to something.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
And it's a J and a J.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Jesus.
Yep. Jeffrey Jesus. Jesus.
Have him like come out of like a cave like 3 days later, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck."
Oh, it's so good. There's so much you can do, Jeffrey. Well, the only thing that I like though about having these 3 pieces be it is that if you watch it and you go to the end, you can restart it exactly where you finished it and watch it again as if it's a circle and it never ends. Because we have the color bars in the beginning and the end.
Mm-hmm.
And the alien says, prepare my DNA VCR. I need to watch segments of this Earthling's life. Basically, what you're watching when you watch My Brother Jeffrey is what that alien watched on his DNA VCR.
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens, man?
Awesome. That's surreal as fuck.
Yeah, so there's even a higher level of Jeffrey where you are the alien.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I mean, nobody gets it unless we explain it, but it's there.
Of course.
Fuck it, let everyone figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
That was part of the fun of it. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was happening, so I was coming to my own conclusions. But there was so much going on. I was like, okay. And right when I get to a conclusion, I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah, that, hopefully we can expand that sort of surprising thing into like a feature at some point. Because we have some ideas for stuff that we want to direct it together. So that's something that we want to do is like entertain the audience, but also surprise the audience. So hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun. That's gonna be. You guys gotta let me know when you do that shit because that'll be hilarious.
Sure. No,
Hey, do you need a luchador cameo? Because I'll drive my ass over there.
Hell yeah.
Always. Oh my God, that's great. That's really good to know.
Well, we're also like, we have a few things that we want to do, but that are a little higher budget, but we have very low budget things that we could do. Like we want to make this one movie called Sasquatch, where it's a Sasquatch and a witch fuck, and then their offspring is the Sasquatch, right? And the Sasquatch is the villain of the piece. I would love to have the Sasquatch kill the fucking luchador. That would be amazing.
That's really good, actually.
Stalking a luchador in the woods who's like lost on the way to go to a wrestling thing. Because Sasquatch is basically going to be me, right? And it's going to be my Freddy Krueger. I'm going to play the Sasquatch.
That's awesome.
So a Sasquatch could come in any part of the woods. So it could be right outside an underground wrestling event.
That's so fucked up.
Fishing.
The luchador is fishing.
Yeah, like you're just relaxed.
Why?
Because you're lost in the woods.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's not lost, he's found.
Oh, you're
and
found,
he's
all right.
just fishing and thinking about the son he never had.
There you go.
It writes itself.
Hey, you saw My Brother Jeffrey. We could make it work. You know.
Hey, whatever, man. I'm game. Fuck it. What the hell? I'm retired. What the hell else am I gonna do? Oh shit. Oh god.
Okay, so now I want to get into a little bit about what you're planning on doing with the festival stuff. So tell me about the festivals that it's shown in and where it's gonna go. Like if there's any more festivals.
Excuse me. I almost choked to death on my own saliva. Sorry, I had drank a lot of coffee and tea, and I'm like puking. It was the Nightmares Film Festival.
Okay.
John went. I could not go because of work, unfortunately, but they liked it, right?
I loved it. It was great, and we had a great it was just a great film festival overall. Any film students or film makers out there, I highly suggest submitting there because it's really cool and it was a really good experience. But yeah, so that we're in Germany. We played on Halloween night at the Final Girls Film Festival in Berlin.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey's been across the waters.
Did you ever think in a million years?
No.
No.
No. In fact, it was like, after the first one, it was like, all right, that was fun, it's over. But then we kind of thought it was going to go away, but that just sort of re-inspired us. So.
Oh yeah, and there's an unmade cop movie that I really wanted to make with Mrs. Brennan and Dan, but one day.
Yeah, it was called what? Corn on the Cob or Cop on the Cob?
Cops on the Cob.
Cops on the Cob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
like, it was going to be in the same spirit as My Brother Jeffrey, but probably more of like an action noir.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, where my mother and my brother were
detectives
partners, right? And
Yeah.
Jimmy was the criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, we should still do that one.
And I really wanted, my dream was to have somehow Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show be the chief. Like, I wanted to, like, basically contact his handler and have him, like, FaceTime in and, like, do commands and stuff.
Dude, that would be hilarious. You guys should totally do that.
You might do it for like
Thank you.
$500. We don't know. We might get him in a cameo with the next one, right?
Yeah, I would love to work with him almost more than anyone else in the world. I love him.
And I remember him most from WCW wrestling.
Hell yeah.
So are you guys planning on trying to throw it in any other film festivals or?
We did submit it to there's a few more coming up. We'll see. Because we just right after we finished it, submitted to a bunch, and some of them got delayed because, they just kept getting delayed. So we still have maybe 5 or 6 that haven't announced yet. So we'll see. And if we get in, we get in. But we have other stuff in the works. We're going to make another short called Wow, which we won't spoil what that's about. But it's going to be really interesting, right?
Yeah. And we're working on a movie right now called Dodie Goes Boom Boom. It's more of like a Todd Solondz film, like Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's more, and that's more elevated as far as technical. We had a real person shoot it. We have a real camera, not an iPhone. But even though the lo-fi stuff is cool, but this is more cinematic.
I gotcha. The iPhone, I say it didn't look bad at all. Like I didn't even think about. I thought you guys were just using a DSLR.
Oh yeah, it looks as good as any DSLR for sure. But we're shooting with higher quality, so it looks more like a real movie.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Like My Brother Jeffrey, I think is good, but it also takes it's like a shot on video aesthetic.
Yeah.
So that's fine for the internets and the small bit, but we want to make a little bit bigger. And Liz found these amazing locations. We're actually going to shoot at a real liquor store in a week or so. Yeah. And that's a huge, huge thing. I mean, Liz just called them and they said yes.
You never know.
Yeah, that is cool. Man. So you guys are probably gonna have a whole nother line of stuff going into the festivals, and
I hope so.
You guys are gonna be busy.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited.
And
there's a memorable spaghetti scene in Dodie Goes Boom Boom that I'm very excited to show.
More spaghetti.
I want to put spaghetti in all of my movies. I've decided.
You're gonna have to go get Dollar General brand spaghetti. It's gonna be cheaper.
We did. We did.
That's what we did.
Awesome.
Again, we know how to save a dime,
It's like, don't make your poor mom keep making spaghetti.
I know. No.
This time we did it on the budget.
God, they all have the same ideas and humor. Well, looks like we're all screwed.
Okay, so you said also this was you guys were putting this on. It was gonna be on the what is it was something from Troma. It was the grind.
Grindsploitation.
Grindsploitation. Okay, yeah, and it was so what is that all about? What is?
Grindsploitation sounds like a 70s hooker twerking.
It's an anthology series that Troma's been putting out probably for about the last 7 years or so, and they're up to number 10. And I've been working on that since, like, not working on it, but I was working at Troma when they first started, and I actually signed those as, like, you know, the first 3, I think, for Troma, and they've been a huge success on Troma now. So the guy, Tony Newton, who produces all of them and created the series, he kept going, and he made freaking, he got up to 8, and I wasn't working at Troma for maybe like 6, 7, 8. And then he contacted me and he said, hey, would you like to, you know, work on the next Grindsploitation? There's 2 of them coming out, 9 and 10. I said, absolutely. And he called one of them Revenge of the Schlock, and one of them, I said, it should be called Milking It, because now you're milking the franchise and you should have like toxic cows on the cover. So we had this guy, Josh Snifter, make a poster of like toxic cows shooting toxic milk out of their udders and melting people's faces. And in that, I also host it as Mad Cowboy, which is a Troma character. So I said to Tony, I was like, look, we have this short. Will you take this for the Grindsploitation series? And he said, yeah, because he loved it. So it's in Grindsploitation 10.
That's cool. Yeah, I was wondering, yeah, because I thought maybe that's what was going to go on the Troma Now app. And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll convince Lloyd to put it on by itself too. Well, we'll see. You never know.
I don't see why he wouldn't. I
mean, he accepts all kinds of crazy stuff. So,
okay, so do you guys have any other things out that are available to watch that I can throw towards people? Be like, hey, go check this out as well, and or you just kind of have the one thing right now?
I mean, John is on The Last Drive-In, Joe Bob Briggs.
Well, yeah, I do that show, of course. And no, but what do you have going on?
I'm in the process of making things, but I'm trying to think. I worked on a documentary about the musician Tiny Tim.
See?
Called Tiny Tim King for a Day, and Weird Al narrates it. So that hasn't been released yet. It had a theatrical release in the late spring, early summer. So hopefully it'll come out on Blu-ray or streaming soon. I don't know when, but I'm involved in that.
Hey, that's badassery. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's so awesome. How long have you been at it? Like, how long have you been doing film stuff?
So I was a creative writing major, and then one of my last year of college, I read our mutual friend, the producer of The Last Drive-In, Justin Martell's Tiny Tim biography, which is called The Internal Troubadour, The Improbable Life of Tiny Tim. It's still one of my favorite books. It's fascinating. And I emailed him and asked if he needed an intern. And then that led to everything, including me meeting John on The Last Drive-In.
Yeah, Liz worked as a PA on the first Last Drive-In shoot, the marathon.
Yeah.
And that's how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But I've always been making like shorts with my friends and stuff, but this was when it became official.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's super awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I was curious because I mean I know what John's done, but I'm like I'm wondering because once I realized like you were the kind of the brainchild behind my brother Jeffrey, I'm like I wonder if she's done some other things because. Like I said, the way it was put together, the way it was written, the way like it was just good. I mean, so I'm like you had to have had some experience doing it. So now that I know you're a creative writing major, you've been working on other things. That makes perfect sense because it reflects in the movie. So
thank you so much. Yeah, I'm crowning in the industry. So
yeah,
there will be more.
No, there's a lot. Liz and I have been writing some feature scripts together and just like really trying to get a lot of stuff done. And Liz, it was great. We wrote a shark script together. Hopefully something happens with that. And so we're just really being creative and trying to do a bunch of cool stuff and not, we like it off the beaten path. We don't like to be completely mainstream, but we also like it to be fun and accessible so people can enjoy it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
we want to make things
that we would watch.
Yeah.
That's cool. Man, that's a really cool story. You guys kind of like, I mean, that's like a fate thing, man. Like,
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
super cool.
Tiny Tim brought us together. Thank the man.
Yeah, it's great. And Liz actually returned to the Last Drive-In now as the second assistant director.
Yeah.
So she's back on the show.
I am. It was a blast. It was a blast.
Awesome. Dude, I was really happy that you guys wanted to come on the show because I was like, this is super cool. As soon as I watched that movie, I'm like, yeah, I definitely have to play this.
Thank you so much.
No, this is great. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you guys, man. Like it's great. I love doing this, and I love like being. You guys obviously don't need my help, but I like being able to help when I can, getting the word out and stuff like that. So
No, and it'll be a lot of fun to restructure the piece. That's what it's for. It's like almost like remixing it.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't ever done an interview about it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Not together anyway.
Not together. Yeah. He did a Q&A for it at the festival, but which I wish I went to. So now you gave me the opportunity to talk about
Awesome.
it. So thank you.
That's so cool. Like that, I like the dynamic with you guys. It's great. Like I wish I could get my wife to do that. My she's got a bigger potty mouth than I do, man. She curses like a sailor. So I'm like, you should do this step with me. She's like, oh no, not my world, but I like seeing like, I had done an interview with Joe and Catalina. You guys know Joe Monco and Catalina?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I did their movie a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sick.
And I had them on there. I was telling them the same thing. I like the dynamic. Like, it's without trying to sound like a corny prick. Like, it's nice. It's just makes me smile or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we love working together, and the thing is, it's like, it's the masculine and the feminine intertwining.
Masculine.
Yeah, exactly. It's the intertwining, but it molds the piece in ways that you may not have seen when you were on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And you want to tell them how we fell in love?
What? How did we? Wait, I don't know, because if I say the wrong thing, this is like now all of a sudden it's like the dating game. If I say the wrong thing, the newlywed game.
The song you wrote for me.
Oh, okay, that's great. So we rekindled our we met on Joe Bob, and then we saw each other maybe a year later at a party, and we were talking about an interview where Quincy Jones came out and said that in the 70s, Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando had sex. And this one was the only one in the whole world that knew about this. And I was the first person I could actually talk to about it without them looking at me like I was crazy. So it's like Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor. That's like fucking crazy.
But also Quincy Jones.
And Quincy Jones, what was he watching? Like, what was happening?
The beans.
Yeah.
He was like, he said that fact, and then he said, and I know who killed JFK. Those were the two things. And no joke.
It's an amazing article. It honestly is. Like, he was saying some crazy shit about Paul McCartney, like all kind. He was just spilling the beans.
Yeah.
But that one, to me, I was like, and not like some people picked it up or whatever, but it was just such a revelation.
Yeah.
And just to have somebody to understand what a big deal that was.
I would have killed to have been there for that night or day, afternoon delight.
I think you would have had to be on heavy drugs.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah.
There's no way that they weren't doing heavy fucking drugs at that.
I think if I would have walked in, it would have been like, I would have, the whole cartoon where they walk in and they see it and they're like,
yeah.
Probably what I would have done.
I would have been like,
I would have stayed. I would have cracked a beer and been like, "Can I just watch? Like, what's going on?"
Like, you guys are making history, man. I'm gonna tilt my head like a confused Rottweiler.
Well, I also wonder which Brando it was. Was it post-apocalypse now Brando? Was it pre-apocalypse now Brando?
Well,
could you imagine?
I would love if it was a bald Brando. I have to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really, if I ever met Quincy Jones, out of everything, I would just ask him, like, please tell me more. Please tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the sex sounds Marlon Brando made during it?
Hey guys, hey, slip it in a little bit further. Bend me over through the right.
Yeah.
And Richard Pryor would be like,
Yeah. It would be like,
You should have zigged when you zagged.
yeah. Don't let him match.
That's so tough.
don't let him match.
It's gonna haunt my dreams now.
I know.
Now you know why we were talking about it.
Yeah, no, right? It's crazy. Every person I said, they were like, and it's like fascinating. Even if that didn't happen, why did Quincy Jones say it?
Yeah, that's another thing. Why did he even say it if it's not true?
I have so many questions. But anyway, he wrote a song about it for me.
Oh yeah.
You wrote a whole song about that for her.
It was maybe a 30-second song. It's called Full Blown Quincy Jones.
Nice.
Yeah. It's on I think it's on Spotify on an album called Celebrated Standards.
Okay.
Full Blown Quincy Jones. It's 30 seconds long.
Why don't you sing it?
We're going full blown Quincy Jones. We're letting everybody know that Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor licked each other's booty holes.
And then I fell in love. We've been together ever since.
That's awesome. That's the most beautiful story I've ever heard.
Marlon Brando porking Richard Pryor, or vice versa, or however it happened. Gross. Then Quincy Jones is doing some weird celebrity cuckold thing.
What's a cuckold? Is that how you say that? I don't know what that is.
Oh, never mind.
I met my wife of 19 years because I tried to clothesline her.
Oh,
that's great.
I was watching wrestling and drinking, and she walks by and I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's another good tactic.
And it was true love.
Oh yeah. We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
That's awesome. Well, I won't keep you guys any longer. I know you guys are probably busy, so thank you again for being on for doing this. I'm really looking forward to writing a narrative around this.
Me too. Thank you so much.
And feel free to use anything, even non sequiturs. We don't care if it's weird. The weirder the better. We like weird.
Yeah.
Okay, you're opening a can of worms. I don't know if you're ready.
Make it as weird as Jeffrey. Just make it freaking put a hat on a hat, as they say.
Literally.
That's awesome.
Liz, John, I just want to thank you again for being on, being super cool enough to come on the show, right? I'm honored to have you guys on. This is like one of the coolest things I've ever done. So I'm glad to have you guys as hip, cool, fantastic hats, right? Super fucking cool.
Yes, it's like getting a sportsmanship ribbon for sucking.
Why don't you just...
Why don't you give me my body parts back?
Anyway, guys, gotta say that because people think it's my catchphrase. Take care. Thanks again. Let me know if you ever need a luchador for one of your crazy flicks. I'll truck my ass over there to where you guys are.
Thank you so much.
This was a blast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'm glad that you guys don't think I'm all f***ed up. So that's.
Hey,
no, same here.
We're all fucked up. It's all good.
Hey, I think we're all pretty much the same f***ed up. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, see you later.
Yep, have a good one.
Anywho, fantastic hats, thank you for joining me, Liz Schack, and John Brennan for part 4 of the Fantastico Disasterpiece Theater Super Ultra Mega Indie Filmmakers Showcase, right? Join me next time on a special night, Black Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Fantastico Disasterpiece Theater Stuff as Fuck Black Friday double feature. You're going to get one POS flick, and you're going to get one really good flick. Well, maybe.
Wonderful. Another long night with you.
Dude, if you leave me the hell alone this week, I'll try to find all the pieces to your body. But if you don't, fuck off.
Go then I won't have to kill you. Yet.
Anywho, see you next week, Fantastic Cats. Next Friday night on the Better Than Nothing Network's YouTube page, 8 p.m. not 9. We're gonna do 8 p.m. start time since we got 2. So I hope you guys have plenty of leftovers and stuff like that to join me, and have a good one. Stay safe. Don't do stupid shit and all that crap. So thank you, John Brennan. Thank you, Liz Schack. Thank you for a really good show. So I don't like to make money. I just like to sell guns.